It's time for a couple more calls. Cincinnati, you are up now. Juanita, Democrat
Yes,
line. Hi there.
Hi, how are you?
Fine.
I just wanted to say I am so relieved to see Mr. Hastings, and I am so glad to hear what he's saying. I was a medical librarian for 30 years, sir, and
God bless you.
I had people, I'm a black woman here in Cincinnati, and at UC we had people come through from all of the areas that you're talking about. And the one thing that always bothered me when I heard Bush and Republicans specifically was how myopic their understanding of the region was. Mm-hmm. And just my working with those people, sir, I mean, you got Uzbekistan, these places were part of the Soviet Union at one time. Yeah. You got places that are part to themselves. And before we send our boys and girls into these situations, we have to understand what we're getting into. And I would just have one further thing to say. I think that, in a sense, Afghanistan is a bit more dangerous than Vietnam.
Indeed.
And the reason I say that is because the one thing we as Americans have got to remember, we are fighting an idea. We are not going to be able to blast. If we blast Osama bin Laden, I'm sure he'll go. But I have no doubt that Al-Qaeda has somebody put in his place. And I'd like for you to speak on that, if you don't mind. Have a good day.
I absolutely believe what you say, and you would understand, having been a librarian, the critical aspect of understanding what it is that you're doing. I think the ecclesiastical reference that my father used an awful lot was, with all that getting, get understanding. And one good way to do that is to take the time to analyze the culture, the religion, the ethnicity, the geographics, all of those things that I don't believe many of my colleagues are doing when they're popping off with their, I call them congressional colonels, ideas about what we need to do in the military. The major insurgent groups in this area are the Quetta Shura Taliban, the Haqqani Network, and the Hezb-e-Islam, Islami Gubidun, I think it is. And most people don't even know that. And most people don't even know what they do or how they do it. They've been there. The Quetta Shura were there when we left with the first President Bush. And the same person, Mullah Umar, was there 20 years ago. He's still a player. And the Karzai government can't stabilize itself with the kind of election that it just had. And unless we know these things, we are likely to run into continuing problems in the future.
On the Intelligence Committee, we understand you'll meet today for a closed briefing on Afghanistan and Pakistan. Dennis Blair tomorrow.
Yeah.
What are you going to be looking for specifically?
A couple of things. It's so interesting because you asked me on the show, and then about 2 hours later I learned that we were going to have the hearing on Afghanistan. So maybe I should come back in the morning, Paul. But one of the things that interested me in the general's report was he talked about how fast the Taliban are growing. And in it he says, but they will not have enough capability in the near term given the insurgency's growth rate. I put a question there for myself. What is the growth rate of the insurgency? And then I want to know how it is and who it is that we're reporting to and with among our allies. Listen, I spend an awful lot of time and have for a number of years in Europe. And a confluence of events is taking place that I think we need to take advantage of. Number one, the country Kazakhstan is getting ready to become the chair in office of the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe. In the area of police training and border training, I believe the OSCE can play a major role. There are 56 countries in that organization, including Russia and the United States. And I think with the Kazakhs in the position that they're in, vectoring toward China, Russia, and the European Union and the United States, that they can be useful to us in that regard. I also think we need to revisit our relationship with Uzbekistan and with Kyrgyzstan, because I think that there are helpful aspects of that matter as it pertains to Afghanistan.
Alcee Hastings, Democrat from Florida, 23rd District, member of the Intelligence Committee. Thanks a lot for your time this Wednesday morning.
Thank you very much, Mr. Argo. I appreciate the opportunity to be here with you.
We will take another short